And I was like, oh yeah, that nigga 40 don't miss. That's just what it is. 40 do not miss. I don't care what Drake talking about, but this beat is crazy as hell. It probably will slide in a couple.
Congratulations to the 2022 NBA World Champions, the Golden State Warriors. We can smoke to that, I guess.
I just got real high one morning. I was like, fuck it, let's watch Top Gun. Out of nowhere. And I watched.
Out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been.
What's going on, guys? And welcome to the Totally Blitz podcast. We finna get the kickback started. Before we do that, please go down, like this video, subscribe to the channel.
Motherfucker.
And let's introduce our host for the episode today. I'm Paul, Pick a Winner Concha. And what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Hey, man, you already know how we cover. This is that boy Lil KK, a.k.a. the Down PYE. One of the three, really one of them ones. The fuck what hasn't been done. And you know how we cover.
Man, it's slick, man. I'm glad to be here, man. Been hiding, but I'm out here now.
Hey, this is your boy Slick first introduction. You better put some bass in your voice. One more time, Slick. Hey, who else with us
Hey,
today?
this Slick, nigga. Good morning, nigga.
Wake up.
Good morning.
It's been a minute, but I'm back now. God damn it.
Good morning, motherfucker. Hey, man. Hey, this is my favorite episode, right? Because, motherfucker, last episode was probably the best episode, but this is my favorite episode because to me, this is the first day of summer. This is the first Monday of summer. Finals is over.
Mm-hmm.
Suns is out. Buns is out. The fun is out.
Yeah.
It's time to make some moves. Like, it's summertime, man. What's your summer vibes looking like, man? How y'all coming this summer?
You know what I'm saying?
Fucking hot to be going anywhere, and it be raining. Charles, as my witness, that shit was 100 degrees yesterday, and out of nowhere, fucking a monsoon.
Yeah, out of nowhere, dog. I just looked up and the sky was black. That shit was crazy. Shit was crazy yesterday.
You
Just glad to be here, man.
You sure it wasn't like 9 o'clock? Like, sure it wasn't nighttime? Like,
I was like, nah, it's just like 3. What's going on?
This don't look normal.
Nope.
Hey, that's fucking insane, bro. So the weather in Tampa is crazy right now?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It's so hot outside, and then even with the heat, it's just fucking. It rains every day. Like, it's given.
Every day.
Doesn't matter if it's just an hour or 45 minutes or 30 or fucking. It might rain 2-3 times an hour each, but
You gonna know it's rain.
Hey, shout out global warming. But nah, man. I've been living my see, I don't have a car. So, like, the weather is very important to me. Like, the weather is very important. The weather dictates what I do at certain times. Very much. Especially when it looks like it's about to rain. But so, like, I know how you feel. But, like, over here in Gainesville, this shit rains every day regardless. So, like, you know how to maneuver it. But it's the same time every day. So, it'll be like 1 to 2 or like 4 to 5. Like, you just know how to maneuver. You know when to be. There's a point in time where it rained every day at 4:30, and I started working at 4. And like, I would literally watch the clouds just start turning, wait for me to get inside my fucking job, and then just start pouring. So like, the first hour of the job would be slow every day one summer, just because like niggas don't want no chicken in the rain. Well, most niggas. But no, that's funny as fuck. But I'm not letting the rain. I'm not letting the weather hold a nigga back, man. A nigga trying to live his best life, man. I mean, what's it called? I've been doing a lot of indoor shit, but like, I don't know, man. I might have to go catch a tan on one of these beaches or something. We do some workouts in Miami.
shit, bro. Hope the sun letting, because it's hurricane season. I didn't realize how long hurricane season was. I've like that shit's all the way up to like November or some shit. Like from June to like November, October. Like, it's half the fucking year. You just told me it's hurricane season half the year.
Man, growing up, it was like 3 months.
I swear, bro. It was just like
hurricane season. The actual hurricane would show up in like August, and then after August, you were safe. That's how it went.
The other cities flooded because our Tampa always used to get passed by.
That shit used to be so lit.
I don't know if it's gonna keep happening.
I remember like the hurricanes would always come like the second week of school. So like you had to go the first week. It's like, fuck, something over. And now you get like a couple days. you get like 2-3 days off for next week because of hurricane coming.
Mm-hmm.
Hurricane don't do shit to Tampa, but hey, what if it did though?
It could.
It could have. You know what I'm saying? I need to be home to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Safe but sorry. Oh, but have y'all watched any good movies recently? Because last night I was on my movie site and I found a good one that I've been waiting on. And I don't know if y'all heard of it, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I haven't seen it yet. It's like that.
It was, and it's one of those movies because Charles will know. If anyone don't know, the movie's concept is like an average woman that owns a laundromat, Asian lady. It's like another like Asian cast, and all famous Asian actors. When you see them, you know who they are. And then she does all of a sudden like her everyday life changes. Like she gets tapped into the multiverse, and she can tap into like all her parallel universes. Like if there was a world where she became the karate expert, like super black belt, she can tap into that and become like start fucking whipping it out on like whatever she needs to like in the moment. And then like she's a race car driver, like she'll be whipping it and it's like and then all of a sudden now she's really whipping it like and she's just this like 45-year-old skinny laundromat owner lady, like, and it's funny. And then something like that, I thought it was gonna be like a long time before they actually get to that point. But 10 minutes into the movie, bro, they all right, we get into it. Like, they did not waste time. And I was like, definitely recommend y'all go checking that movie out, because I heard all the other movies kind of stunk, like the Jurassic Park and all. I'm not a Top Gun person, but that's the only one.
Great thing about that Top Gun movie.
Where was
from all the people who would watch Top Gun?
Charles, you seem like a Top Gun type of dude.
No, listen.
With the military jacket and everything.
I've only seen Top Gun recently. I was I was working overnight, and I just got real high one morning, and I was like, "Fuck it, let's watch Top Gun." Out of nowhere, and I watched that bit. And that was some great cap. I'm not gonna lie. It damn near was like an anime plot, bro.
It held up. It held up to the test of time.
Yeah, it definitely was a movie from 1986, but it got respected like a movie in 1986. I really appreciated that. So the sequel, 36 years later, I heard a lot of good reviews on that motherfucker. Especially with, you know what I'm saying, the technology better, the jets better. You know what I'm saying?
And Tom Cruise is a fucking savage. He was wanting to do all this shit himself. Like they're having to tell him like, Tom, we can't let you go underneath the Golden Gate Bridge in a fighter jet. Like we have to leave that to the professional fighter pilots. Yeah. And Tom Cruise is like, no, it won't be real. I want it to be real. like
that's how his whole character is a Top Gun. They literally tell him, bro, don't do that shit by yourself. And he's like, it has to be done. And he just does it. I guess that's just him.
That's Maverick.
Maverick. Tom Cruise.
I'm not gonna lie, you know it's funny. There was a shit to do yesterday, so me and the homies went to the movies, and like cause somebody called me saying they was gonna go watch Top Gun. I was like, Top Gun at 7:20, and I was just like 7:20. I'm gonna go to the movies before 9. How am I gonna get a good nap? But motherfucking, so Top Gun was, I seen the trailer and I was like, there are not enough black people in this. But I was like, it's either this or dinosaurs. So I was like, all right, we could go to Top Gun. And then motherfucking Top Gun was sold out. And I was like, oh, that shit must really be hitting like that. Like for all day was sold out. And I'm just like, that's crazy.
It's on saving Sunday, the movie theaters.
So we chose to see Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, whatever you call it. And I guess probably I would have been engaged more if I knew the plot, like if I knew who Charlotte Lockwood was and all that extra shit. And like the stuff, because it just came into like I walked straight into a plot. Like it looked like I walked straight into a 30-year timeline. Like these niggas.
No, that's because it is.
Yeah, that's the 6th movie in the franchise. And I think this one they had all the OGs come back.
Yeah, they did. This is the one that merged the 2 different universes, 2 different timelines.
It was cool. Like it was straight. I fell asleep, but it was cool. I'm okay. But usually I can judge a movie when I fall asleep by like what I wake up to. Like usually I'll wake up to something and there'll be some action. Like Fast and Furious, I can go to sleep all day, but I'll wake up. Them boys is action. But like Jurassic World, I woke up, niggas. I fell asleep, niggas was talking. I woke up, niggas was talking. I woke up, and like the way And I guess dinosaurs are like kind of just like interacting with humans and stuff like that. Now dinosaurs are kind of on the loose and they're like a natural thing in life. So people are kind of getting used to it. And like niggas is stealing dinosaurs. I was cool and all that, but like nobody got eaten by a dinosaur. So I was like,
That's not real.
I'm like, it's not realistic to me. I feel like Top Gun was more realistic, would have been more realistic.
I had no.
You're telling me dinosaurs are all over this motherfucking world. Not one ate a human.
Not one like big problem going on.
Yeah.
I had to talk to somebody about that because I was like, I don't know how they turned Jurassic Park into like a family-friendly movie because it's
Jurassic
really a horror
World.
film. It's supposed to be a horror film. This dinosaurs with us, nigga. They just gonna be. It's an onslaught. It's free lunch every hour.
The original ones I felt like were like that. Like the first three were
that's
like
what they wanted.
It was in the rain. Like all of a sudden they're like, "What is that noise?" And fucking big ass T-Rex right there.
Yeah. They were getting hunted. I remember seeing the deaths and be like, oh wow, that nigga just got ate in half. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I gotta go back.
Hiding in the kitchen in the dark, being quiet, shaking it. Like that's what I'm expecting to see.
Kids having PTSD, running for their lives.
They remembered it. They'll never forget this shit. Never. My dad got ripped in half by a giant lizard.
It was civilized, man. There was like they even said they made a joke about gene splicing. They was like, nah, we don't do that. The biggest issue were the locusts. They had like these crazy locusts, huge, crazy dinosaur locust type shit. So
that's a horror film by itself.
They were the biggest issue in that whole
yeah.
And there was a special type of dinosaur they called like a Gasosaurus or Gagasaurus or something like that. I don't know. It was alright. There wasn't that much. There were that many great options, so I wasn't tripping.
Well, shit, if y'all got the time, you don't even have to go to the theaters. They go 1, 2, 3. They already got it in HD, everywhere, everything, all at once. That movie really was with the shits. And Top Gun. The funniest thing about that to me was E! News. Y'all know, like the Entertainment Weekly and all the insider stuff.
Yeah.
My dad had told me that he was watching it in the morning, and they were talking about Top Gun Maverick. And that shit happened, like you said, 36 years ago. So they were doing like what the cast looked like then versus now. And the main girl, like Tom Cruise's girlfriend in the first one, is Meg Ryan. So they have Meg Ryan in the 80s, sex symbols, fine, all that stuff, right? And then like Meg Ryan now, and it was like, oh my god, she just looked bad. And then all of a sudden it's like Tom Cruise in the 80s. Versus Tom Cruise now, and the motherfucker looks exactly the same, right? Like he don't even have a gray hair.
No, I remember not even like the old dudes was talking about how old girl is just not the same person at all from then. Like same size, same weight, same person, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, not the same.
And then look at Tom Cruise, bro. Tom Cruise looks like, bro, that man. He's like almost 60 years old. I think he is 60 years old.
Yeah, that's all he do, bro. He run, man. Tom Cruise is low key American Jackie Chan. Think about it.
Nigga look like he just became a politician. That's it.
Yeah, like
high key. That boy definitely look like he runs Scientology.
Oh, definitely, dude. That's what keeping him so young, bro. That makes sure the gold goose is always looks good.
That boy's the leader of a religion. That shit is insane.
Nigga said, follow the youth. We can make it with engineering. Make it. Yeah. The Germans been tried.
Tom Cruise, bro. And Tom Cruise. What if it's all just a big act, bro? Like that's his biggest acting role of all time. Nah, going undercover in Scientology.
Taking Scientology down? Well, he would have took it down by now. He runs that hood.
Yeah, no, man, like it should be like a 25-year role, bro.
Or is it bigger than this? Is he going after other?
Yeah, he's going after everything, bro.
Through Scientology. Jesus. This is the biggest role of all.
He took that Mission Impossible shit to the head. And now he's an agent.
I'm better than blind. I'm better than born.
No, I never heard of that shit until the South Park episode, and that shit was great. That explained a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But man, dog, so it's Monday. Niggas is chilling. Niggas is vibing. I've been watching a shit ton of DBZ since our last combo on DBZ. So what was y'all favorite transformations in the show?
Super Saiyan 3.
Super Saiyan 3? That's a unanimous?
Not just any Super Saiyan 3. When he broke it down the first time,
he screamed for like the guy legitimately, I think, passed out after doing it.
He did.
Yeah.
6 minutes.
That's like a legendary status. Like even to this day, I'm pretty sure other like anime voice actors, like they will probably have that guy like in the GOAT tier, just like I probably couldn't scream for 6 minutes straight. Like if like Naruto knew better than to ask me. Like Dragon Ball Z is the only anime I've ever seen something like that, and every second it has got more hype. Like more like what is it? Is there something more? And also you see like a flash, and it's like hold up, what was that? And then also you see like the bird, not the bird, but like shit, like a black screen. Like it's just the way they animated it. It's just like what the fuck? Hold up.
Beautiful, bro.
But like now I gotta play devil's advocate because motherfucking that's my favorite one also. But like Super has some transformations now. Like Super, them boys was snapping with them transformations. Like the first time bro went blue and they got the platinum, everything breaking on their ass versus motherfucking Jiren's transformation in the Turn of the Power. He just turns into the hottest thing to have ever been created. Motherfucking Trunks' transformation against Black Goku when he had his own.
One that had me.
What's up?
I think that was the one for me, like the one I was like, oh, these niggas not playing this year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because Trunks was crazy. They made the hair sharper. That boy got bulkier. You know what I'm saying? He started walking. You could hear his footsteps. I was like, oh, this nigga not playing. I
think his eyes is on demon time, like
white.
For me though, the Super ones don't hit the same just because like when I was a jit, I had never seen nothing like that. Whereas Super, like I've been through the gauntlet of anime, and especially with DBZ, like I was like almost like expecting it. Like you have to keep raising it, especially now you're gonna be finding gods and other universes. Like it's just getting bigger stakes. With the third one for me, it was like that. No one went past 2 for a minute. Like it was like the Super Saiyan 2 and Gohan was the only one who could do it. Like it was just unfathomable to anybody else. So then when he finally bust that bitch out, I was like, hold up, like that. That's why that one is Super Saiyan 1. Like, because I wasn't expecting Super Saiyan 1 either. And maybe it's because social media ruined the transformations, because I would see it on Twitter the day it happens. Like, it's not the same effect of like finding out without even knowing about anything.
That shit's cool. I always appreciate like being like the second generation of Dragon Ball Z. So like I knew what those transformations were. I remember when I watched everything straight through, I watched Dragon Ball, and I remember I just used to have to keep telling myself, like, I understand that like this nigga can fly, but like we gonna watch this whole thing. And that's tough to tell yourself that shit in like 4th grade, 5th grade. Like I understand this man can destroy worlds, but like we gonna watch him struggle with this fucking Chinese motherfucker in a pink suit. Like motherfucking
for real, I did not have patience.
Yeah, I was like, it took me a sec, but when I got to the end, I made it so much better. Cause especially when he did the shit to Piccolo, and I was just like the evil King Piccolo, and I was just like, oh yeah, these niggas just fighting. But like Dragon Ball Z just shattered all that. Like, okay, this is the big leagues. This is the big leagues, homie.
No, I definitely saw Dragon Ball Z first too, and then the only reason I even really watched Dragon Ball like that, because I don't think I really was gonna give it the time until it was on the Funimation channel. Like they would just have that bitch like 4 or 5 episodes every day, and then like the next day another like 4 or 5 episodes, and then be in order. So I would be like, shit, I guess I'm watching this. Like, because I was just sit there and just stay on the Funimation channel. Even if I wasn't paying attention, it was just that I was the channel I was on.
No, I remember. I always loved the nostalgia of Dragon Ball from day one. Like, just even being a little kid, I think it's probably because there wasn't much going on back then, and on like 2008 and shit. But motherfucking, I remember just watching that first episode of Dragon Ball and thinking like, yo, this is my favorite thing on TV ever. Like, I don't think there's anything better than this. There's nothing better than this first episode. Like, just like the way it was set up to like, yo, we're about to go on an adventure, and I was just like, oh wow. These motherfuckers is lit.
I was watching Dragon Ball Z before I knew what anime was. Like I knew it wasn't a regular cartoon, but I was like, bro, this shit is so fire. I want to watch nothing else.
I had blood. They was saying shit. They were saying like there was a little bit of cussing.
Yeah, they were, especially in Japanese.
I got to see boneless panties.
Oh, Dragon Ball, yeah. Was that DBZ? No, that was Dragon Ball 2 times with Master Roshi's horny ass. But we have what's up with anime that's having like either one or like a few that's like some perverted. Like I know it's just like kind of
There's always one
casual over there, but like they be like there's at least one in every anime. Like you always have a Master Roshi.
Sometimes it's the main character who's the biggest pervert.
That is true.
Yeah, I look at it like a Jiraiya type. I look at it because I feel like those characters really exist in that culture. Like everybody has that pervy ass everybody has that pervy ass old uncle or old granddad. Like that's just real life out there. And niggas just pervy as fuck. And like and the way that they draw their characters, because nobody explained to me that people in anime are Asian. Like nobody. It took me a while to really sit down and understand that. Because like, do you see the way they draw titties in anime? Like there's that's probably like the less than like 4% of the people in their population. Like that's just how like anime
they all look like this.
Any person with colored hair is Asian, and any person with blonde hair, blue eye is an American. And then they always like the real small eyes is the Chinese. I found out, someone told me. They're like, when you start seeing the Asian people, not like the old people that usually have the small eyes, but like you'll see like I saw one other anime when they actually went to China, and like they specifically gave the Chinese people like squinty eyes, whereas the Asian people are like these bright, colorful, big characters. And I was like, then we got some like Asian on Asian beef going on here.
They really do got beef with each other.
It's just funny, man. But like, so when I look at Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that, it brings me back to like the older animes. Cause like I'm a big like nostalgia fan when it comes to watching my show. Like I always like the fact that like, yo, this came out like Death Note. Like I was actually talking to somebody about Death Note the other day. They was like, yo, this came out at this time, and it still stands up with these that's going on here with all the CG and all the lit, just because of the little things that they did right. I think my two favorite animes when it comes to all the doing just everything right has to be Full Metal Alchemist and Yu Yu Hakusho. Like they just did all the little shit right to like get you between each because Full Metal Alchemist, especially Brotherhood, feels like it's just like straight through, like everything happened like damn near like a Black Clover, like that's back to back to back to back to back, something happened until it was done. So what are y'all favorite like real nostalgic ass animes?
I ain't gonna lie, it would have been Dragon Ball, not gonna hold you. But Hunter x Hunter in there for sure. I felt like it was a couple steps away from being perfect. The creator, like most creators, shouldn't have been on book. But yeah, I enjoyed that. I really wish I got Naruto more like y'all did, like because I was watching it when it was on TV, but I wasn't in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I just wasn't locked in. I tune in when I see Rock Lee and them boys fade a guy, or you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, that nigga like Bruce Lee for real. You know what I'm saying? And
so you like tuned in for like, okay.
I was there for hands. You know what I'm saying? I seen the battle with a Sasuke standing at the top of the hole and how dramatic that shit was. I was like, I feel real betrayal right now. You know what I'm saying? Like this boy Naruto is like always trying to save some nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like I watched that, but
pure nostalgia, like not even like what I think is like, because there's some of these probably don't even like I haven't watched them forever, but like something if I see a clip or there's a picture of it brings me back to that memory. Like other than Dragon Ball Z, because I both said that one. Naruto I feel like is a gimme, and then but the ones that I feel like would go unnamed would be like Zatch Bell, and then like the Beyblades. Like those are one of like Prince of Tennis. Like those are some of the first, like at age 7, like at 8, like I was like Inuyasha.
Watch Digimon.
That boy
Digimon.
That boy said Zatch Bell. My boy really used to watch and really
Zatch Bell used to, bro. Those little that was one of the first ones that like the concept was so fire to me. Like this is all of a sudden like a whole other world. Like they were like dolls, but they're like gods basically. Each one was like has their own power and like or like stuff, and they're just basically fighting and on Earth to be like ruler of their world. And I was like, hold up now. And they had like the fucking I can't remember what it was called, but that fucking hyper beam cannon type ability. Beyblade. Did y'all watch Beyblade growing up?
Let it rip.
Beyblade, let it rip. I played Beyblade like this.
Yeah, everybody played it.
I found out now how to actually play it. Like I saw a TikTok about it. I was like, how to get a certain spin. Like it's not that hard. Like it literally is just all how you like turn it or have it like face a certain way. And like one spin is for defense mode, and your Beyblade will go into like the center. Like the people that actually play Beyblade, I was like, oh, it isn't just like let it rip, just let that bitch go. Like there is actually like a way to actually beat people.
The show wasn't bullshit.
They
really weren't.
Was that in like the special like they had the ring, or you could do that anywhere?
And well, they had the ring, that's the normal ring, but they were just showing on that's like on countertop, just like also just like how to get your Beyblade to like do certain things, like and then certain Beyblades have certain abilities where like not like they're not gonna do like in the TV show, but like some Beyblades are built a certain guy has more speed or whatever. So like if you let him fly a certain way, it's like almost like the TV show. He'll do this certain thing, and then someone has more defense, and he's like a bigger, bulkier Beyblade that has like a special ability to be able to like. I was really blown away that like, oh, there's a lot more to it and like strategy than just like
crazy
what I was doing.
I was just ready to watch that. I just wanted that bitch to spin.
Yeah, it was always. Sometimes we would get. Sometimes we would get them to hit, but really we were just trying to whoever stood the longest, we won.
Yeah, I'm like my bitch spin.
And it makes sense. Mine was smaller than theirs, so mine usually stood up the longest.
And when they did hit, it was like, oh, like you got excited, like that was a big deal, bro.
Yeah.
The Beyblades, that show held me down because when I went to the like no cable and just going to the movie, and I would go into the library to get DVDs, they always have Beyblade, and it would be a different. Like I'll be watching like season 4 one week, and then the next week like season 18. Like people have completely different hair colors, like completely different. Like now motherfuckers are evil, and like, yeah, like I was like that one's probably the most nostalgic. You said Digimon though, Charles?
Yeah, there was actually like a Digimon show. This was back on like Jetix. You remember Jetix?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like Digimon Evolutions or some shit. And that was when they had like they was wearing like they Digimon on they like a damn like how Power Rangers was. They had that bitch as like a goddamn
band on the wrist.
Yeah, like a watch. And they would call that motherfucker. It was like some mechanical shit, and they would become part of the Digimon. And that shit was so hard to beat. They would transform into like a big ass Digimon beetle or a dragon. That shit was hard.
I never watched Digimon. I watched the one movie they had that like the very first movie, and that movie was hard. I watched that movie of like a handful of times. That's legit, but never watched a single episode of Digimon.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's the Digimon that I'm talking about was the only Digimon I was committed to, because after they went away from that shit and they was just like launching the actual like Digimon into battle, like on some Pokemon shit, I was like, yeah, I don't want to watch them.
It always. Did you watch it, Kev? Because that one's the one always intrigued me. I just never ever got around to it.
I fucked with Digimon a little piece. I was a big Yu-Gi-Oh dude. I was really deep into Yu-Gi-Oh. So like I always felt like they was beefing. Like at school, you guys had your Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So like I always felt like you had to switch it, pick a side. Like I used to watch them when I had time. But when it comes to like Pokemon and shit like that, we can get a Yu-Gi-Oh in a second. But Pokemon, I always ask the question: how did Team Rocket not die? Like Team Rocket really got blasted off every fucking episode, and they were creative. It wasn't just Pikachu. Nah, they used to get whatever Pokemon was eating that episode. Usually sent them niggas to oblivion. But like every episode, classic. Like
it was on some swiper no swiper shit.
They were the swiper no swipers.
Niggas was looking forward to it.
Them niggas are hilarious. Anytime they come on the screen, I'm ready to watch. This is about to be the cap of shit you seen in this episode.
And always with the disguises, bro. They honestly would make the episode.
They would. They really would. Disguises, and they be rhyming off each other. These niggas be finishing each other.
Sometimes they weren't even like trying to scheme, bro. They'd be like on the day off trying to do something.
Just
and then all of a sudden, does Ash is walking around with his Pikachu just out and about. Like nobody else is doing this, but other than Ash. Like you see a little 11-year-old jit with his Pokemon out, bro. You thinking that's easy money every time, and you don't like it's in their blood. That's why I give them respect, bro, because they wouldn't even be wanting to steal Pokemon, bro. But
it's just a free opportunities. I would not.
And they got fucking talking meow.
Bro, they had bro. They had Wobbuffet Fett too, nigga. That shit was crazy.
Wobbuffet Fett.
Oh, that nigga do it move side to side.
But no, but I had a Pokemon book that had like the attack and defense of it. He was the only one that had 99 had 0 everything else. 0 across the board, but 99 max defense. And I was like, and there was an episode where Wobbuffet casted like a iron skin. I don't know, there's like some tank shit, and they couldn't do nothing to Wobbuffet, bro. He was eating everything. and then even Team Rocket, Jesse or Jay, whoever's the one who's the boss of him, was just like, it went from like, Wobbuffet, what the fuck are you doing here, to like, oh, thank you, Wobbuffet. Like, like only time Wobbuffet ever got like good screen time.
That's funny as fuck.
Because they had to be blasting off, and then Wobbuffet would just pop out. It'd be like flying off with them, like Wobbuffet.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny as fuck. But hey, man, it's that time of the year again. Basketball season's over. Football season's been feeling like it's been a month away for like the last 3 months, especially this season. So before we get into how we look back in the season, what we took our takes on from the basketball season this year and the Warriors winning, motherfucking, what the fuck y'all gonna do with y'all time right now?
Shit, right now I'm trying to knock off all the bucket list anime type shit, like anime that I just always had on the back burner that like I know would be in a top 50 anime all time list type shit. Like something I haven't seen yet that I just need to watch, that like it's top 50 for a reason. Maybe and I'm not watching like the Fruits Baskets and shit like that. But anything that like that Toriko, like the food critic, like he always been like on the back burner for me. I'm like, let me go find out what he's actually about. Like I haven't watched it, but like animes like that, like the ones that you always had sitting there, about them, massive fan base, but you don't know like the Gundams. I'm gonna go peep some Gundams this off season. I'm gonna see what the hell is up with the Gundam fans.
Right, that Toriko anime is low key good. I remember watching. I was really hungry one night, and I was just watching that shit. That shit's fire. Because the Japanese making their food look so good.
And he's an exotic food hunter. Like the most exotic food would be in the most dangerous place. So like only the specialized people can be food hunters.
But once you like, you're gonna start doing some push-ups. If you look like you're gonna do some push-ups, you can start wearing wife beaters every day again.
Yeah, it's hot enough. Makes sense too. Gotta keep the jacket on.
What you watching? Chess, professional, professional slapping. Them slap shits go crazy.
Them shits is fire. I be seeing them on Twitter and IG.
I thought I'd be hurt if a nigga knocked me out with a slap, kid.
Boy, they be smacking the sweat off them boys with them slaps. That shit is crazy. They know it, and then niggas be ready because they know that's the hit that's gonna put them out every time. You see it in their eyes. But what I finished? The last thing I watched was Ozark. I finished Ozark, and I just been coasting through movies. You know what I'm saying? That's really what I'm on. I'm just on a movie wave right now.
You're coasting movie. I gave you one, bro. That's one.
Appreciate it. I know I'm taking that down for sure. Like I gotta go. I was gonna watch The Accountant. I need to watch
Affleck movie.
Yeah, I remember the trailers when that shit came out. I was like, this nigga looks serious. He looked technical.
But I used to love Ben Affleck because he was like funny, and he had a little bit of like that dirty Boston in him, where he's scrappy.
Yeah.
Like Matt Damon, that he would throw down if he had to. And But then all of a sudden, I remember 2016, that motherfucker was Batman, and I hated that. Like I was just like, he's Batman, like Ben Affleck, like he seems like the sweater wearing motherfucker is Batman. After Christian Bale had killed it for 3 movies in a row, and
American Psycho.
Yeah, American Psycho was banger also, but man. Ever since then, I just haven't been a big fan of Ben Affleck. I don't know why. I just like this ever since 2016, that movie. I just haven't really watched any movie prior, like Good Will Hunting. Loved him in that movie. Those other like Matt Damon movies. He's in like 7 Matt Damon movies. All of them slap.
All them boys rock with each other. Shit crazy.
That's interesting. I'm not gonna lie to y'all boys. I think I'm gonna start watching some skateboard videos until this shit comes back, man. I think that, and maybe a little PGA Tour, because I heard the niggas going crazy right now.
That boy, the US Open, I think, was this weekend. I think it wrapped up.
But I just think like niggas would never allow me to go to an event because like there's no way in hell I'm clapping. Oh my gosh, he's about to take a shot. I'm about to, hey, hit that shit, nigga. Like,
no way.
Niggas is gonna
be they're gonna be having the guys gonna be handcuffed and escort, you know, and they see people like dragged by their butt, like as he's just still yelling.
I'll be like, bitch, I'm a paying customer. Get the fuck off of me. Hey, hit that shit, my nigga. Yo, hey. I'm getting that bitch green tea.
All right.
But yeah, I'm definitely trying to do I've been thinking about taking up scuba diving though, no cap. Like there's some stuff that I'm thinking about making a bucket list of things I want to finish before like I graduate. And like I feel like scuba diving and combat sports are looking like they're about to hop on my list. But I smoke, so that means I have to start running. And like I don't know how to swim. So like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place right now.
Yeah, no, bro. You don't know how to swim, bro. That's step 1 before scuba diving.
But I know how to swim good enough to go beat the shit out of the nigga that pushed me in the pool. But like motherfucking, I don't know if I could just sit down and just tread that hoe, like have a conversation with motherfuckers.
I've been scuba diving once. It was inside of a pool, and it was pretty fun. And it felt weird. Charles, you ever been like scuba diving?
I also can't swim, so I knew that wasn't an option.
Not for you. When I went, right,
but they all crazy down there.
It didn't feel it just felt so like I don't know what the word for it. It's just different.
Accessible.
Because you're underwater and all of a sudden like they have to tell you like breathe, like you can breathe, and because at first your initial instinct is like don't breathe.
Water.
Yeah, I'm taking water. Like I don't want to swallow water. Like I'm not an idiot. But then all of a sudden you breathe and it's oxygen, so it's not even what the air tastes like. It's like cold. Yeah, almost like a doctor, the stuff like so. Then it's like different like thing, but it was dope. I'm not gonna lie, it was just a pool. I would love to scuba dive in like a fucking coral reef or some shit, like see some little fishes, but not with them sharks.
That's what really got me into this shit because I was watching some these little. I've been putting these nature shits on when I'm editing or doing some homework and shit, and like I'll be seeing all the shits, but then I really walked into a pet store, an aquatic pet store, and I was looking at the little coral reef tanks, and I was like, imagine just being in that bitch just floating around. And I was like, you can't do that. That's crazy. So like, I don't know, man. Scuba dive might be something I do for my birthday next year. But like the passport, I really plan on getting my passport the end of this month, like right after I pay rent, man. Where are y'all places? Like places that y'all feel like you would travel to? Because like Charles already been to the other side of the world before. That nigga been out east.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm finna head up northeast probably next year. England, Rome, probably.
Euro tour.
Yeah, need to get me a passport. I've been neglecting that shit just because the nigga don't want to go to the post office, but I need to go get that.
End of the month, man. Get your passport, man. I'm doing the same thing, man. Pay your rent and then let's go get some passports.
Yeah.
I want to hit like first 2. So like I always hear Indonesia's mad cheap for like where you go, and you can get like a 4-star hotel, like cabana on the water, like those floating cabanas on the water, and it'd be like $50 a night. And then you only need like $1.50 a night, and you eat like the normal, like not a bento box, but like those type of like trays that they eat over there, and they're real good. And I was like, oh, for like, so basically like $500, and even with $500, like that's like with transportation, like everything but the ticket. But like $500 gets you a fire ass hotel, eating like a king every day, transportation every day, probably sightseeing shit every day, probably buy some souvenirs while you're there. And like, there's not a lot of places on the world, especially this far from America, that you can say that. So I was like, Indonesia's always been like, I want to hit that place.
Yeah, it's different over there. It's expensive. Really, that's how it is. Most of them areas over there. It's expensive to get there, but once you're there, everything is pretty good prices. You know what I'm saying? And moving around Europe is like real cheap too, because you can take the train everywhere.
I would love to hit Europe though, just because I've been like listening like history shit for like past like for a while. I like history, and like I just be going like 500 years in Europe history from like fucking any time frame, like the different periods.
Boys love getting ill. That's where that word came from. Ill from them.
For real. America came from them, because there's before there was like three land, like England was split into three lands of like Wales, and then there was a place called Mercia, and it was spelled like America without the A in the beginning. And in America, when we were founded, we just took that name and just put it, and we changed it from Mercia to America.
I believe it.
That's interesting. Motherfucking, I think if I had to go somewhere, it's torn because like, I want to go somewhere black as fuck. So I want to go somewhere in Africa, like somewhere deep in Africa, like some real like Nigeria,
like the Congo,
like Nigeria maybe, and then work my way to the Congo. But like I also want to go somewhere Spanish as fuck. But like a Colombia, or I want to go to the Dominican Republic, but that shit kind of right there. Like you really want to like branch yourself out there. Like I'm trying to go motherfucking like Colombia, Brazil, motherfucking somewhere over there, somewhere like South America, more like crazy Spanish. And then maybe vacation, like spend them and like drive, like go to, or do some shit like go to California and then drive to Mexico type shit.
Okay. And going to Mexico, going to Mexico ain't that hard. They might not even ask you for a passport, bro. They'll be like, oh, you going to Mexico? Shit, oh, come on through.
I remember
if you want, stay.
Shit, do y'all have any I have like this fucking would you rather question that I think would have been good for it's an anime would you rather question.
What's up with it?
Well, I know you watch Bleach. Did you watch Bleach, Charles?
Nah, my brother did. He said after the seasons, that's when it's raw.
Yeah, all right. I knew Jerry. I knew Kevin, Jerry. I didn't know for sure, Charles, but I'll still shoot it. Would you rather have been a Naruto captain or a Bleach captain?
Bleach captain.
Yeah, a Bleach captain. Them niggas had a different kind of respect.
Them niggas had the drip with the cape. Oh my god.
The robe.
Like the jacket's cool. The Angu's cool, but like it's different. Like if I'd rather be like a Hokage than the head of the captains, but like to be like a Jonin or Sanin or somebody high up in Naruto to one of the Bleach 13 captains of the
like those
guards. Ooh! Know. What captain would you be, Paul?
I mean, Kenpachi. It ain't no
I was gonna be Kenpachi.
Kenpachi, where that man, he wore an eye patch, put bells on his hair, and what was that? Yeah, he put bells on his hair and an eye patch just to make the fights harder for himself, so he could have fun. Oh, and he used a rusty sword.
Oh yeah, the shit bullshit. But if you Kenpachi, then I might be
Aizen is cold, bro.
Aizen with the glasses. Aizen with the glasses on. Cold calculator Aizen. Not even the stupid gangster, the legendary killer Aizen.
All he had to do was just pull the hair back and take the glasses off, and immediately he had drip. He went from the Pee Wee Sherman motherfucker to one of the coldest motherfuckers in Bleach. Just pull the hair back, take the glasses off. And the man automatically, you just saw it in his face, the drip he had.
I should have been one, right?
That's scary, man. But on some anime, would you rather? See, I always be trying to make a would you rather with Attack on Titan, but I feel like there's nothing like
There's
even
to do in that show.
Even in Dragon Ball Z, because at least Dragon Ball Z, like you can say like, oh, the planet gets blown up all the time. You never know. Like
I'm about to say it just happens like that, and you don't even feel it, and then within an instant you're right back and wish us back to life.
But Attack on Titan was so nice with the way that they could just really instill fear and show how scared these motherfuckers were and like the trauma that they're going through. Like saying that she motherfucking, I remember there was a story of a girl saying that she got eaten. Her mother got eaten by a Titan, and she screamed so much until she was eaten alive, and she screamed so much until she finally lost her voice. And the whole time she was just, and once she lost her voice, she just started throwing up. And I was like, that's insane.
But the one thing that whoever was drawing it there, because it got over into the anime too, but the things they do to their eyes, like when they draw the lines on top of it going down and stuff to like instill like the fear or like the anger or just like the war torn people have seen, like that's I've never seen that. I know it's been used in other stuff, probably in like horror animes, but that was one thing I was just like, they do the eyes perfect, like better than any other anime. Like they just do, they be able to grab the idea of fear in somebody's face.
No, I did it. And the emotion there is still like in the Charles, how far are you caught up in the Attack on Titan?
Y'all can speak on it. I haven't seen the last like 10, 15.
We're not gonna speak on it because it is pretty good. But there's a point in time where individuals are attacking a Titan, and like the person, Paul, you might know what I'm talking about. It's when you know who.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
the boys was up the road. You feel me? Don't worry, Charles. We ain't gonna say nothing.
I'm gonna get this.
But like, his shit was so crazy when they were like, he was just sitting there like, you guys aren't scared of me? I'm a Titan. Like, hey, motherfucker's about to get his ass cut the fuck up by Levi and the gang. Like, motherfucker, he's just like, y'all don't fear me? I don't understand. Like, Paul, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I do.
Y'all talking about
it was crazy to me because I'm just saying the way they can just make this shit just so real life and realistic. It feels like Breaking Bad almost. I'm like, it makes sense why this show was #1 in the fucking world in the US at one point.
But really fucking, there's been quite a couple. I call them like the waves. Like in 2004 was the Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece wave. Because once that hit America, that really like changed the game in like Western animes. And then like I think of like 2012 is whenever like Sword Art Online had dropped, and that was massive. Like when that opened another door for like mainstream anime. And then like My Hero dropped with One Punch Man in like 2015. Like I consider all those like the waves. And then we got to Attack on Titan. Like this is like one wave after another. And then like the Black Clover, like it's just like this, like, and it's only getting bigger because now everybody's an anime fan.
The revolution, bro. They just trying to outdo the other, bro. There's so many new Fire ones, well, Fire Force and all that shit.
I heard Fire Force is dumb nice. You guys are the fourth people to tell me this. You know, Paul was the second.
It's so
it's crazy. I like the Attack on Titans, the business strategy they went on, because that was like the biggest Netflix anime, and they just had the first season. Like
them niggas was all about business.
It was all just the first season forever, and then they slowly told us what more and more until it's like, oh, we're here now. It's just like, oh fuck.
I just remember season 2.
When they made the reveal about who the Colossal Titan and the Armor Titan was, I remember sitting in my chair. I was sitting in my chair watching this on the tablet, and I paused it and I looked at Paul and I said, "Yo, Attack on Titan is the top 5 anime." And I remember that, like when that shit happened, because I did not think this was real. I was like, "There's no way this is going down." Like I paused and I was like, "Attack on Titan is the top 5 anime." He didn't dispute me or anything. He was just like, "All right, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna get caught up." What the fuck is this love to call me?
Right. And with Attack on Titan, if you haven't seen it, you should go peep Vinland Saga. It's like the Vikings in Europe, like while the war was going on and shit. So they got like the Viking one. And it's the same people who did like the animation did this one. And that's why like the fight scenes, and like Kev can attest, in Vinland Saga when they fight, it's like so fast, like the same way Attack on Titan does it, the way they like follow when they flying through the shit, and it's like real fast paced. That's how Vinland Saga is, but just like with Vikings and shit.
So,
Nah, no cap. I seen a nigga get his fucking fingertips cut off, and I was like, yeah, this is what I'm here for.
Yeah, and it's fine. And the second season's dropping, so anyone who's anime and they don't know what to watch, go peep Vinland Saga season 1.
Man, but while we're talking violence, man, UFC, Paul. Is it just me? Charles, how big a UFC fan are you? Not at all? Heard. So, Paul, talk to me about the sport of MMA. Why is this shit so fucking crazy? Because, like, I come from wrestling. I was a high school wrestler 4 years. Never did anything even remotely great in the sport. Motherfucking. But there was a time when people really, wrestling was the hardest sport. You got to kill yourself. You got to cut the weight. You got to do this. You got to do that. Wrestling was the hardest sport. You got to scramble. You can wrestle for 7 minutes and go fucking on the sideline and fucking pass out. Like, this shit is insane. And I believe this shit was the greatest sport. Charles Sutton said it. I believe this shit was the greatest sport until MMA. Like, that's because you're not, niggas aren't trying to score on you. They're trying to hurt you. So, Paul, explain to me why the fuck is MMA so fucking lit, dog? This shit is crazy.
No, I thought maybe it was some hindsight bias because of like, or recency bias. I mean, like, just because every card we feel like this is the best card ever, and maybe just because it's the fucking one we're watching that week. But no lie, this last one, UFC Austin, what was it? 8 finishes, 7 knockouts, and like 6 first-round knockouts. Like, just like they broke the record for most finishes in a UFC event ever. Like, that was I've never really watched start to finish a card where somebody just got knocked out like within a minute and a half, back to back to back, and like 4 fights in a row. And it was like, you can't make that up. And also, that's just also like, in boxing, that stuff happens on undercards all the time, but it's like, you know, it's gonna happen. You have like a minus 1,000 favorite super prospect going up against like some plumber from Mexico who they just want to build this guy up and get him good to get him into the main events. But in the UFC, you really, once they close, like the odds are always close for a reason. You really don't know who's going to be the winner of that fight. You have no idea. Like, because usually in UFC, rules are like a winner takes on a other, like if you're coming off a win, the person you're fighting will be coming off a win. If you're coming off a loss, the person you're fighting will be coming off a loss. So someone can always have a bounce back. And also with the winner, it's just like someone will continue to move on, and someone will have to take a fall back here. So that's why I think it's so lit. Like, unlike boxing and like some big main events in boxing, you don't know who's gonna win, and it makes it so fire. But in UFC, the first fight to the last fight, you never know who's really gonna win. Like, even the Valentina Shevchenko, the women's GOAT, she was like a minus 800 favorite, super favorite, and that fight was a split decision. Like talent is so close right now.
Yeah, I love it, man. Every time I watch a new card, I'm thinking like,
I mean, that's just real good. I'm about to tap in.
No cap. Every Saturday, there's some shit going down. Every fucking Saturday. Sometimes Friday. Every Saturday. And they even have a reality TV show.
Just imagine people like about to fade each other. Like Bad Girls Club, but the girls basically were going to have to fade. One of them was going to have to fade at the end of the week each other. So all that rapping is shit dead, because you know we're going to see each other.
Especially in the earlier seasons, like the first like 10 seasons, like the motherfuckers were just in the house all day cutting up, ready to fuck somebody up.
Drinking beer. You know, that's not like a whole bunch of white people drinking beer that know how to fight.
They're living in a multi-million-dollar mansion while they're fighting, while they're going through this tournament.
Waiting to fuck up somebody.
I'm a firm believer and a firm promoter of the UFC. I think if you should watch it, if you have time, you should study a discipline. Like, this shit is fire, man. I'm trying to get it. I need Dana to hit my line, man. We got to do some business, man.
Business.
So it looks like, all right, so we're almost at the hour mark. Before we hit the actual hour, we have to talk it. I thought it would be brought up in the middle of the convo, but we're gonna say it. I want y'all's real reaction. How did y'all feel about Drake's new album, Honestly Nevermind?
Man, I heard everybody say that shit sound like mall music, and that's all I needed. But my brother played some songs for me, and I was like, oh yeah, that nigga 40 don't miss. That's just what it is. 40 do not miss. I don't care what Drake talking about, but this beat is crazy as hell. It probably will slide in a couple months. It will probably be better to listen to. But like I say, the production is A1. I just don't want to hear Drake though.
Kev, have you gotten to listen to it yet, or at least some tracks?
So I didn't know it was gonna come out, and I wasn't gonna listen to it in the first place. But from the hate I've heard, I'm gonna tap into it just because I love to hear everybody hating on some shit, and I'll be like, oh, okay, I like this. But I love being on the other side. But I just think it's probably some shit like he's saying is ahead of the game. Like they're really working on something. That was their first time just playing with it, and like they're fine tuned it because like this motherfucker Drake doesn't just drop shit to drop shit. Like that was a chess game. He was playing chess. Remember, he's playing the game on free mode right now. He beat the story a few times. So like
100% of it.
They got something in the work. 40's probably been working on this for like a couple of years or so. So like he probably just needs to tighten up his flows and get his bars all the way together on it. But like I'm gonna tap in, I'll see what he's talking about. But I think it's probably just a double back for Kendrick, because like Kendrick really dropped some shit like, hey man, fuck it, this is how I feel. So like I nigga said like this is how we coming.
I think it's a mix of one, like Drake is already like if he was to come out with the same album again, that would be the people's big. It's the same thing every time, the same R&B, but like he's doing something different. Like so, like people would hate, but like I don't know, people always find a reason to hate. The jokes are funny. I'll definitely agree to that, but I do think it's kind of dope that he's doing something completely different. It is some like party type beats, but the beats do go crazy. Production, it's Drake. Production always gonna go crazy.
Mm-hmm. I bet you them shits is gonna go crazy in the clubs in Canada, because them niggas probably be out there bumping shit like that.
Oh yeah,
love Drake. Even the niggas that don't love Drake.
And maybe he is really about to change the game. I saw some people say like when Kanye had the 808s, people were like, "What the fuck is this?" And then now 808s is the basics of any production, like rap. So like maybe this is just 10 years too early, and then we'll start seeing fucking beats all over the place like this, or maybe Drake doesn't know whatever he dropped gonna go number one. So like this is an experiment album, and he's like, "Fuck it, I still go number one."
Yeah, and if you look at it like, if it was nobody hated on it, I wouldn't have listened to it. But since everybody hated on it, I have to go take the time to go listen to it now. So like his buzz is out of the world. Like you can't either win or lose, he's always gonna win.
Because like even if it was like, because I remember Adam Sandler when he made Uncut Gems, fire ass movie, he was like, if this doesn't win an Oscar or whatever, he's gonna make the worst movie ever, as like a fuck you, and it's still gonna do great numbers because I'm Adam Sandler. And then afterwards, it didn't win. He made that Hubie Halloween movie where it was that Netflix corny. Everyone's like, this was the movie he must have been talking about, because it came out right afterwards, and it was so, and it still got mad numbers because why? It's Adam Sandler, and anything made by Adam Sandler will at least hit like high numbers. And what if that's like Drake? Drake's like, man, this is a fuck you album, and I'll still go number one. I still prove there's a level to all these peons. Because literally Drake can drop some bullshit tomorrow, and that shit could get number one. Like no effort, no care in the world. Fucking some SpongeBob SquarePants beats, and people will sit there saying, his fans will sit there and still say like, man, Drake, that like you changing the game, brothers. Pay attention.
Hey man, such is life, man.
Not gonna lie, a lot of fans are hella delusional, but the nigga beat selection is crazy. I respect the production every time.
Did 40 make the whole album?
I'm pretty sure I said, yeah, 40, the producer of every album down there.
Them boys be locked in.
If he's not, and I know I wouldn't say 40 does all his shit, but no, like, he's always a part of every project.
Hey, but lastly, man, congratulations to the 2022 NBA World Champions, Golden State Warriors. We can spoke to that, I guess.
For the fourth time in 8 years.
I really wasn't rooting for nobody, but like, I would have liked the Game 7, crazy close, blah blah blah. Nah, niggas got blown out in Game 6, and I said the Warriors had to win in 6. If they didn't, it was 7. Nobody was beating the Celtics in the Game 7 this season. But like they won 3 in a row on their ass. That's something I didn't see coming.
Yeah. With that said, how y'all feel about Jason Tatum? Because I got what I need to say about Jason Tatum.
I still enjoy him, but bro, he broke the record for most turnovers in the finals. Well, like in a series.
No, in the playoffs.
Oh, in the playoffs? Okay, yeah, it hit 100 in the playoffs or some crazy shit.
Only him, and you didn't like, bro.
That was something. I was shocked because I knew the team was turning over the ball a lot. I didn't realize him particularly was like fucking up like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like first series, you know what I'm saying? That was 4 straight games, bro. And throw that one away. What was the second series? They played Giannis. And that went 6-2, didn't it? Because they didn't have Middleton.
7.
Giannis. That's what I'm saying. They wouldn't even have been here if they had Middleton. We're not gonna get there. 7. They went 7 with them. Then you go play Miami and they take them 7, right? So you went 6. Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's unacceptable. that is unacceptable. Yeah, that's unacceptable. That's like an average of 5.
28. Yeah, there's like 28 games he played, or like 25, 28 games. So he averaged about a good 4 a game.
4, 7, 7, 19. Yeah, 25 games. So he averaged 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers a game. That's sick.
That's a lot.
And Andrew Wiggins had him in a box in that last game. I'm not gonna lie. Andrew Wiggins was a solid piece on defense. Like fuck all the offense numbers. Defensively, he was doing his thing.
Them boys are easy to rip. I ain't gonna lie, because I remember watching in that Miami series, them niggas was getting ripped by the hand, just at the top of the 3. Like, you want to drive, we stripping you, niggas. Like, that's just how it went. So, and especially in that fight, bro. They had a grab when they showed the turnovers. I think it was like in the beginning of the third. The Warriors had like 8. The Celtics had 20. I was like, yeah, it's over, bro. I'm not even looking at the score. I'm looking at the turnovers alone.
Man, then Draymond was on Twitter last night. He tweeted, "Getting ready for Game 7, locked in. Like stay tuned or whatever." And like that shit, like to me, it does. Like he's a person you love to play with, or you hate to go against, and it just rubbed me the wrong way because like he averaged 6 points per game. They really had a stat that was like in the 4 games, 15 fouls, 15 points or something, or what was it? Was something fucking crazy, and then like the turnovers he had also.
Bro.
And then
I realized that. That's what his role.
For him to go on, it was like almost like because I was just like, for someone to average 6 points per game, you are definitely like, you're so loud, like Steph, like he acting like he was Steph.
He does all that.
If Steph was tweeting like that, I would be like, damn, Steph cooked them at like Steph talking his shit. But then when you see someone who put up 6 points per game and people were clowning him for 4 games of the series, and then he's the one that's on Twitter with it, I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like,
the thing about Draymond is like his numbers don't show what he's doing, but like he does do a lot. He's under the rim. He's a predominant playmaker. And he's a predominant screen setter. Like, that shit crazy as hell. He's a huge part of every play. And it's like, but his numbers don't show. And you're right, he's way too loud. But I understand why he talks the way he does, because that fat motherfucker out there running with them boys. He out there. And I ain't gonna lie, the gimmicks though, that's what ruins it. But he do be out there playing with them boys. I'll give him that.
Man, I thought Charles Barkley said it good when he said on Pat McAfee's show, he said, Draymond's just so loud. He needs to just be happy that he's the 3rd option on a team with Steph and Clay, and you're able to win all these championships. But because if you were a 10, 6, and 6 player on another team, no one would give a fuck who you were. Like, it don't matter how good of a 10, 6, and 6 you were doing. If you weren't on this team, no one would give a fuck. Like, and I was just like, that's facts. So that's the only reason I have a problem whenever he's like talking like he's KD. And I know, like, and I know he's not offensively skilled like that. Like, he's more of a defensive and more of the spark on the team.
Playmaker type.
Yeah. But I don't know. There's been a lot of like solid role players for teams. Like, that's like Shane Battier, like fucking talking shit for the Heat whenever he was running with us. Like, he had a role. Like, we couldn't do shit without Shane Battier's defensive, like in threes and shit like that. But like, I don't know. If you're not the 1 or 2, I feel like under franchise, you shouldn't be like barking like you're the number 1.
I think he's had a career, and I just feel like they kind of place him on a pedestal like he's Dennis Rodman, but like he talks as if like that, and it's cool. I'm personally a Draymond fan. I love it. I don't love to hate him. I just love to see them. I love to see him catch hate. But
yeah.
I just think he just has like an interesting career, and he can sit down and say like, at least I won this many championships, and he's always gonna talk. Like, he's always gonna be that dude. But he's like similar, like if Kenny Smith was in that bitch talking that shit like to Chuck, like, Chuck, I got 2 rings, shut the fuck up, like, don't speak. And they would be like, bro, you don't shut up for I get Hakeem, take your ring back, what's wrong with you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he is a focal point on that team, and like he's just gonna forever be cemented as like Draymond Green, like one of the best mouths in the NBA.
Definitely will be for fucking remembered.
And he's gonna have a career in media afterwards, so it's gonna be fun listening to Draymond for the next 20-30 years.
I just hope he's not Paul Pierce in it, bro. If he's on some hating Paul Pierce shit though, I will be. My slander for him will only grow.
Nah,
I think
he don't got a cap. He got 4 rings. He don't got a cap.
Yeah, I think he's a little smarter than that.
He can go up there and size Shaq if he feels like it.
Oh, he sized Shaq?
If he wants to, he's not gonna say nothing, but he's gonna size Shaq. And it's like, oh.
How many rings Rick Fox got?
2, 3.
3.
Was he part of that 3-peat? Because I know he had.
I believe so. He's part of that 3-peat.
Yeah, he was on the 3-peat. He was part of the team because he was part of that. They said whenever they used to get swept by the Jazz, it would be them boys. They created the Cancun on them.
And I best never see Rick Fox size up Charles Barkley in his life.
No, I've never seen him do it.
No, because they know they roll, bro. The niggas who be clashing are the niggas who are the leaders of their team. You know what I'm saying? That you allowed to clash when, hey, bro, the ball gonna be in my hand for the last shot. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm waiting to see Patrick Beverly ass. I want to see what Patrick Beverly gonna do.
Pat be talking to whoever because he think he can guard whoever. I respect it because
I just think what he said about Chris Paul could have been true to an extent. I don't think it was true.
What you talking about? It's true.
I mean, to an extent, but like you do got to remember, he do be taking off on these fourth quarters, and it's probably because you spent the first 3 quarters not guarding him. So that I could understand that, but like to an extent. But at the end of the day, like Chris Paul, the nigga had to move to LA because of the nigga. Like this Chris Paul, I'm pretty sure they traded damn near twice for this nigga for Chris Paul. So like it be like that sometimes. You got some hate, animosity, niggas be beefing. But his takes against Stephen A are what be getting me. Because like there'll be points in time Stephen A is about to get into this long rant, and he says, the question was, do you think he can win a championship team? No. Okay then. Thank you, JJ.
I like JJ and CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum came up for an episode and they had Stephen A looking stupid. I don't like Patrick Beverly.
When he was talking about Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, the only reason I don't like Patrick Beverly is because he was like, you need to give James Harden the max. He deserves it. That like all that, and he will get it. And then all of a sudden they brought up somebody else who's like in that same caliber player. I can't remember who it was. It's not KD or something, but someone else like that. And he was like, "Nah, he don't get the money." And they were like, why not? Like everything he did Like, because everything he talked about with James Harden was like what he did for the Rock. Like, he was a great top 5 player. He's still a good player. But then, but he just had like a different, I could just tell he liked James Harden. So he was like, yeah, he gets the money. But the other guy he didn't really like, so he don't deserve shit.
He took his ass. Them niggas was games like 1 or 2 games away from the finals, like damn near 3 years in a row. Like, motherfucking, them boys got real love for each other. But like, and he was talking about because I like the way his takes are. His takes are very straight to the point. He was like, "Do you consider him a top 10 shooting guard all time?" And I was like, "Well, probably." Then he goes, "That's it. What'd you pay?" And I was thinking, "Well, how much did the rest of them niggas get paid?" And I'm just sitting here like, it's about what you're doing, man.
Yeah, that was and so then like I felt like his like personal like for him got his like was like he wouldn't be able, he wasn't answering the question like he would for about another player. And I was like, bro, you gotta keep that energy with everybody. Like, what you doing tomorrow? What you doing next year? What are you gonna do right now?
Mm-hmm. Me personally, I don't think he deserved that contract.
Oh, because also he was like, did they win a chip? All right, then all those wins don't mean nothing.
No. And this nigga has a history of just flying out of that motherfucker when it don't go his way. And we know why he's taking this player option, because just like Russ, he's about to get a bag. So
I have a long extended known, not hate, but just like I was all pro Ben Simmons trade. When he got traded, I did not think James Harden was.
I was pro non-believer. When Ben got drafted, I didn't believe in that nigga. And you mean to tell me that nigga just doesn't shoot? Oh yeah, he's not gonna be good.
I'll never forget when we got kicked out of that pizza place for arguing that shit. Paul, were you there for that?
Nah.
Yeah, we got kicked out. So I said, when this was their rookie year, I told that boy Sham, I'd take Jamal Murray over Ben Simmons any day. Any day. I said that a rookie year, and I meant that. Ben is not working.
So the question was, is Ben Simmons a top 10 point guard in the league right now? And I was upset because I was on Sham's side. Sham was like, he's top 10. Well, no, because Sham was trying to say he's top 3. And I was like, I was like, I think Ben Simmons isn't bad because he just had that. I think it was his second year. He just had a good second year with Embiid and everything. I was like, he's not bad. And because they was mad that he won. Maybe it was his second year, but his second year was his rookie year.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, it was that. So motherfucking this man, Jerry, Charles, and Kyle, and one other person was like, "Are y'all fucking crazy?" And like Sham also just beat me in 2K and dropped 60 with Ben Simmons. So he turned the stamina off. Like, so like all you had to do was
dump.
There.
Yeah.
He bamboozled me. He got me. So I had to be a pro Ben Simmons believer. If not, that meant that I sucked so bad at 2K and nigga dropped 60 on. So motherfucking, I have to be under assumption this nigga's Jordan. So we're in this bitch, and then so now niggas is getting loud. Cause I'm trying to be like, he's at least top 10. Like, there's no way y'all can name 10 point guards better. And this nigga Charles went deep in his point guard bag. I mean deep. And when he came out when he was out of at 9 and 8, he was out of point guards. Yo, this motherfucker said Spencer Dinwiddie and Jamal Murray kicked, and I lost it. This is when we got kicked out. I lost it. Sham lost it. They lost it.
Right, like, there's no way you said Spencer Dinwiddie.
And this is before Jamal Murray in the bubble, so we never seen it.
Look where it came out to, though.
But Dinwiddie's a 6-man right now, bro.
Jamal Murray didn't play this season.
Bro, that's a 6-man that can give you 28 if he need to.
No, right? There's no way.
Can Ben do that in an ISO?
What Ben could do to put Dinwiddie with Ben in the ISO 1-on-1, Dinwiddie's in a box. Okay, there's no Ben Simmons' big ass is clamping Dinwiddie. He's doing. Have y'all seen the Hustle movie yet? He's doing the bowl challenge, right? He's blocking that. He's doing the bowler challenge, blocking shit.
That's who the Celtics needed was Bo Cruz. Shit, they didn't have shit.
Ben Simmons is locking bro out with his phone in his pocket.
What he does on the defensive end alone, take away. I don't give a fuck. He doesn't even need to shoot a basketball for the rest of his career. Not even a layup. What he could do, playmaking, passing, and defensively alone puts him.
He's essentially he really could be Draymond Green, but better. He really could. Honestly, he could beat Bron if he wanted to, but the thing, realistically,
not even
from what he plays and what he wants to do, he's Draymond.
No, bro, you can't never beat Bron. Like you say, you can't shoot. He
the
muscle him either.
Well, no. Yeah, there's one Bron. I'm just saying the hype that they was giving that nigga, the potential he had coming out of high school.
He
was a Bron type.
He was coming out of LSU, and no one knew what to do with him because he was 6'9" and could dribble. Because when they drafted him, he was going to play power forward. He was playing power forward in the training camps and everything because he was 6'9". He was literally no one wanted, like they didn't know what position he was going to do. And then I remember, if y'all still have those 2Ks when he was a rookie, he starts a power forward for you on 2K.
He does.
And then eventually they got the new GM that came in, I believe, or the new coach, and then they put his ass at point guard.
And I hate playing the Sixers because he's really at the point guard.
So he really was that true, because Wiggins was I want to say bust, but he was the other big prospect prior who just he fell off immediately coming into the NBA, whereas I feel like Wiggins
he was getting
fell off, but you realize it's not the same.
That's funny, man. I never thought I didn't think I'd hear any good talk about Ben Simmons for the entire summer, but we found it. A totally good podcast. We got whatever you need, man. But
he beat top 10.
Ooh. There's some bullshit, Charles. You don't understand that night I knocked Jerry's pizza out of his hand by accident. That's how wild we're getting.
I just told some old heads last night that LeBron James is better than Jordan. Period. I told some niggas who watched Jordan from rookie season to Wizards final season. You know what I'm saying? Baseball and all that. I told them, and them niggas almost passed out. I don't care. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
I'm a big fan of. I don't debate. I just appreciate. But Bron is my pick.
Oh yeah, he's definitely the greatest. He's the best all around.
I'm not gonna argue with you.
And it's also a longevity. People don't give enough credit to that. This man has been doing the same thing and I can't even say the same thing because he was already great. It's greater. He finds another thing to improve in. You know what I'm saying? Niggas used to come at him crazy about that post fadeaway, and that nigga turned Toronto into LeBronto with that goddamn fadeaway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I done seen him win games plenty of times with that fadeaway. You know what I'm saying? So he just finds more ways to improve, and he's fucking 40. Niggas don't even play this long. And because of that, we forget, which is why niggas look at James Harden nigga, why are you still not being good? It's because he's actually playing his age. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody, if you don't stay in shape, you know what I'm saying, you're just not gonna be able to keep like you were. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Clay. He's not the same player, clearly. You know what I'm saying? The age comes into play. And we forget that because Bron has been averaging 27 his whole career.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best.
That's
I don't know.
Standard. Yeah, with him. Same with Brady. The Brady NFL. You got one guy.
He's Kobe, motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
And free Young Thug. I'm tired of this shit. Give my dog a bond.
Free slime.
That's crazy.
But hey, man, I think that's about all that we got for you, man. This has been a nice little smooth little episode. You feel me? But hey, man, this has been another episode of the Totally Blitz podcast. If you didn't know, I didn't mind slapping the taste out your mouth to let you know. But hey, man, this is motherfucking Monday. We kicking back, chilling, vibing. I'm about to take this more bomb rip because I got a home meeting to get to, so I got to be on high by 3:00. But
on high.
Y'all take it easy. We gonna catch y'all later this week. And if you didn't know, I'm gonna let you know right now that you was a bitch.